Hey, welcome back. And today is gonna be some Resto Druid games. Well, not the best Resto Druid games in the world, but some of them. I'm sorry I'm not posting as often as I was before, but I'm trying to learn something, prepare for an exam, and I wanna take like math course, so I'm usually AFK and trying to do better. So yeah, into these games here, Holy Paladins and RMP is all over. Now we're gonna have an interesting comp actually. Holy Paladin, Arcane and Windwalker, which are quite, I would say, hard for us, but as you can see, we're having enough pressure that they don't really do anything. Like, he got a full ship, and that was a nice stun into ship for them, and then the Windwalker just went on me and broke everything. In which case I just go bare from double frenzy and I'm super fine, and then I'm just gonna find the pillar. At the moment I should have went for a clone since I was on the R's for Poly and he didn't have any CS availables, but I don't know why I didn't that. Well, I'm not so experienced on Druid, but I do go for the clone eventually, so I did get the clone. I could have gone this and get gone for it earlier, but better late than never. And now they have another go which I pre-birded, so they don't do any damage to me, so that's pretty cool. um, Hopefully I'm not gonna get bullied, but I am in human form. Let's see if he's gonna cast it. He's gonna cast it. I greeded there and went for a hot form myself. I don't know why. I was expecting a swap on me, but that didn't come. I knew he had Fist of Fury ready, but he used it on the Windwalker. I think my Windwalker is also like in a bit of trouble since he doesn't really have any cooldowns now. So now we should be not offensive but defensive for a while, which we are. And soon enough we're gonna have pressure again. Now I think he's gonna try to do another go in cap into Fist of Fury, but the mage isn't hitting me, so I decided not to skin that since the Windwalker didn't really use any other cooldowns and that wasn't really a worthy skin, so I just saved my skin. I turns right after. I Iron Bar just for safety since my Monk's Karma is up soon and the Demon Hunter also has Blur available if needed, so I would just be safe and bark myself. I should have went for this Dispel on the ship way earlier. I like waited a bit too long there, but eventually got it. Like he said like 3 seconds or so, but I don't think that mattered in the long run since we were still playing into like finding a go basically. I did get a clone on the mage's burst. I think the Windwalker was trying to get some damage on me, and now we have a karma, a beautiful karma on the Windwalker, and then he ported in case of a Bob, which wasn't actually good port from my Windwalker. Now he's gonna try to get the ship on me, but he didn't really manage to get it. And soon enough, we're gonna have enough pressure on the mage to force a block maybe, or at least another paladin cooldown, and there it is. There's like temporal and sacrifice, which is super high for us. And I'm binding this spell because I was playing with different people on it, and I wasn't actually dispelling the correct people. And yeah, nice clone on the mage, stopping that some of its damage on his arcane power, and trying to get a reclone, which I managed to get. And now I'm maybe gonna get on the paladin, or maybe not, just keeping some hots alive on the monk since he doesn't have any cooldowns at the moment. Good kiting for him, realizing that they switch on him kinda. And I got in a poly that broke somehow. I'm not exactly sure how, but I think the paladin somehow hit me or something. I'm not sure how that happened, but yeah. Moving on, another. This game was some sort of intense since we always had to use the global, or at least make sure we can go in bear form. I do really enjoy that the monks have a role, so you can actually see them coming to you. Like if you're a safe enough distance where they just cannot incap and then kill you. I mean stun you. So yeah, if it would be like a leap, leap stun, that would be like super hard to avoid. Actually, a leap you can also see, like a blink stun. Yeah, blink stun would be hard to avoid. So I'm imagining Void Elves now, like Void Elves using the teleport to stun you. That would be super cool mechanics, like Echo from League of Legends, if you know. He goes back into his location. I think port could be used, Void port could be used like that, and It's basically an unavoidable stun without using the ink cap, and I think some really good plays could be made with that. Anyway, that's a quick Windwalker, Void Windwalker tip right there, and maybe as a Crane Monk as well, like a Mistweaver Monk that would work for CC or like damage as well. Yeah. Anyway, moving back to this game, Paladin has no bubble, Mage has no block. Actually, the Mage has a block, but the Paladin didn't really have anything, and we had enough damage finally to secure a score on him. I think if we went on Paladin from the start, we wouldn't have hit dampening, since we probably could have forced bubble in the second go, since he probably will trinket the stun, the first stun, and probably survive with wings and wall or stuff like that. But yeah, it was a nice game. Yeah, don't think this is very high rated. It's probably from yeah, it's 1700 to like 2k or something like that. Since we went, I think 14 or 13 wins and one loss, which is kind of decent. But the monk hasn't played on this character at all, so he's on a new character. He's a good player, but he's on a new character. 0 games played, and yeah, he kind of want to they kind of want to play this. The Demon Hunter also has a mage, and he didn't want to play his mage for whatever reason. So yeah, we're just playing this. But this is good as well. Huge burst, like you saw that in the open. Instantly got a bubble. Although I did get shape here, I wanted to trinket, but fortunately for us, it broke quite fast. Not sure from what. I guess from the feral trash or something. Anyway, the monk is down there. I was scared of him porting, so I hesitated going down for a bit. Now I'm going up. I'm probably gonna track or nah. He's gonna port up. This is what we're not even on voice, but I knew he had the port up, so him jumping down and then following and me going up again and him porting up. That was a very good play. Like they were all downstairs and we were like in a huge position, advantage position, just escaping like that. Now the problem is I was talking, I wasn't really paying attention, so I got polyed and then like another poly, not burning through breath. But he outplayed them again with porting to going down and porting up. This is a really good play from the monk, and I guess he had experience playing warlock, so he knows how to do this porting thing, which is really good for us at the moment, since it's keeping him alive since he had no karma. Now the paladin also has this paladin has no bubble, so we could actually train him and maybe kill him in the next few seconds. And I think that's the goal right now. He's super low, and I think we do have kicks available. Yeah, and he just dies. Like the monk's kick was coming up, and I don't think he had any more bobs available. So yeah, that was a good swap, and we just killed him. Interesting enough, we forced almost everything in the open. At least we got his bubble, and it took a while till we got back to him, but when we did, he just died. So yeah, GGS, I guess. And now we have, I'm not so sure, but this rogue was playing quite well, I would say. This RMP wasn't like super high rated, but the rogue was playing, he was playing very well. I'm not so sure if he's the US guy or not. If you can see on the right of my party of my bars, there's like trinket and kick and karma, and downstairs, like down there is like blur from the demon hunter, and kick and trinket. That's from his add-on, I think, or maybe he changed the add-on. Anyway, they did a super good swap on me, in which I barely managed to get into bear form, double frenzy, and I'm almost back to full HP. But like, if I had a bit less gear, or if I wasn't full HP there, I could have died in one go, like one simple go, just like that. You trinket blind, and that's what can happen, and you have to be super careful when if you're bare form or not. Thankfully, we have super high amount of pressure, and therefore we can be and stay aggressive, and always like try to be in a safe spot. And like this monk played really well with the porting back there, like he had no karma, so he did really well just dodging all that damage. and now we're trying to recover and also pressure at the same time. I should have went for the clone on this temporal, but I think the Demon Hunter can also incap the temporal and you know just just kill through, like do damage, and if he's low enough but not dead, you just do incap on the mage, and he just will have he won't take any heals. But in the meanwhile, we'll just kill the priest, which basically didn't really have any damage, and at least not damage, but healing cooldowns used in a stun, so he just flopped. And into the next one, we're gonna have some really nice RMP. Well, a lot of RMPs. I think this was played after the tournament or during the tournament. It was that weekend for sure. And there, oh boy, there were a lot of RMPs after that tournament. And there we go, man, another RMP. And this one is like a classic sub Frost RMP, which in my opinion is quite good. It requires a bit more skill because it's more setup oriented, I think. Like Assassination and Arcane can be more damage consistently, but less potential of bursting goes. Anyway, moving then into this game, we have a nice go on the priest. We took him to like half HP. I'm trying to outrange the rogue here. I actually got out of combat there, so he could have sapped me. He went for the stun. I think he thought I'm still in combat. If he was a good rogue, he would have sapped me there. I thought I had like 2 more seconds until I get out of combat, but apparently somehow, whenever I go for a drink, I can never get combat out of combat. But now, when I wanted to kite rogue for a bit more, I instantly get out of combat. So that's funny. Anyway, I get a dispel on the monk. We do get enough pressure on the mage there, and now they're splitting. Like the demon hunter is on the mage, and then they back on the priest, and forcing quite the cooldowns from the priest. Didn't have dispel for this monk, sadly. I dispelled the demon hunter, so he set a full fear, but no matter, he just went in, Feast of Fury, and we win the game. Not the greatest priest in the world, but I think he did alright for this MMR. Although it's more about the rogue mage and how they play. Like if they play well enough, the priest, like the healers in this comp, have the easiest job. So as well as jungle. Like if you play jungle, if your DPS gets the pressure first, then you don't really have to heal that much. You just have to do more damage, get more pressure, and overall win like that. Now we have another RMP, but this is gonna be the arcane assassination version. This should be a bit hard in my opinion, solely for the fact that it's more consistent damage and damage that goes through bear form. Like assassination kinda eats me alive. If he sits on me, which I hope he's not, and apparently he goes on the demon hunter, I pre-bark him. He still has blur available. The rogue just swap of him. I'm gonna try to stun the rogue, maybe go for a clone. I'm just gonna trinket that blind, going in my bear form, trying to not get sapped. I think he could have sapped me there because he vanished, and he could have probably vanish box sap me there, but apparently he did not do that. And now the demon hunter went super aggressive, which almost cost us the game since he actually outranged my heal there, and he was forced to use Netherwalk. A really questionable play there, but I guess he really wanted to go offensive there. Like now we're in a quite of a pickle. I see that the monk got a CC on the mage, which had no trinket, so I just went for some heals because he did have CS available, but seeing him on CC, he couldn't do it, so I just went for casts. Maybe the rogue could have stepped back, but I don't. He didn't have step either, so I was in a safe spot to free cast, and that kind of saved that one ink up from the Windwalker. Actually saved my saved this game, since the Demon Hunter really threw it in the opener. And now we do have a lot of pressure. Like they had their go, now we still have like 30 seconds until their go, like the arcane power and vendetta go, which is really scary, but I think we can actually get a kill before that. We do have a lot of pressure now, and they somehow do force my iron bark, I mean, for the demon hunter, but we also force the block, which is a huge cooldown, and it's only one block. So if we do have connection on the mage again, and we do, he can just die. At the moment, I'm just spamming Bear Form out of the stun, and I'm just gonna double Frenzy, and I should be fine, like, have HP, and remember, that's through Mortal Strike. And I should have been like 80%, 70% HP instead of like 50%, so yeah, the, the debuff actually hurt a bit, but them having no block, I think that Karma could have went on the mage since he didn't have any block, and probably they could have died a bit earlier. Anyway, he's not gonna get a sap. I just went there, trashed, and got the rogue out of the sap. I think I was a bit of MVP in that play there. Um, Now we just need to go on the priest, or at least on the mage. Just need to train. We do go on the mage and pre-bark him just in case he gets a poly through all this damage. But nah, he's just gonna flop. And better, having him bark since he wanna chase wherever. And the priest, well, the priest could have went for more fears, but maybe he was playing knock. I wasn't really paying attention that much. I think he was feared though, but he didn't fear in the end. Anyway, moving to the next one soon enough. Well, yeah, I think that was a decent game as well. Like, mistakes were made by each sides. I think they should have won in the opener, to be honest. Like, the Demon Hunter really overextended. And now we have another game. I think this was a really scary one. They probably could have one shot either one of them. Like, they are two melees, they have to go in the open and they have to train something. Fortunately, they went on the Resto Shaman, and the Resto Shaman kind of panicked. He only linked nothing. Like, the Boomkin wasn't in the link, the Destro wasn't in the link, so he just wasted link on 0. He still has Trinket, so he should be able to survive for a while now. He did pop on Senna, so cooldown wise, I don't think he has wall anymore. So basically, he has only wall, and we have quite a lot of damage. Maybe we don't have karma, but only melee strikes is enough. Like, if the Demon Hunter gets enough chaos strikes for him to proc his trait, well, that trait hits for like more than 500,000, and it can proc on the proc, so you can do like 1 million if you're lucky enough. Here's like super high, super huge damage coming from them. BS silence into trinket, like he trinket stun into BF silence, blood elf silence, and he just falls over and dies. Even though he trinketed there, I don't think he could have recovered. He could have probably only wall. I think he still has wall. I'm not so sure if he used it or not. But he didn't have any ascendants, and he didn't have any links, so it would be hard to recover regardless, since the Demon Hunter was playing demonic, so he has a demon form really quickly, and that is a lot of damage. Okay, Hunter streak. There we go, boys. 10 wins in a row. 3 more, I think, and or at least 2 more. I'm not so sure how many I recorded, because I think I missed like a few games, 1 or 2. Anyway, now another comp that fairly looks scary, like Destro Frost, they should burst really hard. We do get a stun on pretty much all of them, except the Warlock. BF Silence, boom boom, another stun, he's dead. Like, the Beastweaver just flopped. He didn't use Trinket, he didn't use Crane if he had it, he didn't port, he didn't do anything. And even if he would port, I had Vortex down, so I don't know, man. He either should have Trinketed instantly and ported, but like he wasted and waited way too long and gave us a win, a free win basically. I'll take it. Like, why not, you know? That was a really nice game, a really fast-paced, kill the healer-oriented game, and successfully. To be fair, the monk could have played better, but either way, thanks for the win. Another game of Frost sub Resto Druid this time. This was the, I think, wood comp. Like, the only comp in Warlords of Draenor would be this and Turbo. And yeah, it was kind of annoying to play, but you did have a bit more spells. You had a bit more things to press. Some say what was a bit more entertaining than Legion. I have to disagree about that since you always faced a few comps, like 4 comps in the entire game, and it just gets boring, you know. You basically know exactly what to do every like versus every comp, and then you just execute it super scripted, and it's just boring. In Legion, you face way more stuff, and everybody plays differently, or at least some of them play differently, and you have a more diversity with each, which is better. And hopefully, BFA would be similar to Legion, but more so towards Wrath. Like I hope they stop the prune and bring some spells back, which would make the game interesting, a bit more interesting, or at least as good as it was before. Maybe not as good because it was quite bursty, but I do like the burst, but not this much. Like it shouldn't be like cooldown for cooldown. It should be like maybe, I don't know. Also, procs is not a good design either. Should like constant CC damage, stuff like that. Anyway, moving on into this game, I had to do a little conversation there since the game wasn't, nothing really happened in this game. Like they did goes, we did goes, they CC'd, we CC'd, but everybody was full HP. Now I have a little split. The Demon Hunter is in the Frost Mage and the Windwalker is soloing the Druid. Funny enough, they're both dropping, and I'm not so sure why. Like the mage and the rogue could easily just block the demon hunter and just he wouldn't be able to do anything, but apparently they couldn't do that, so we just got a super high pressure both on the mage and on the druid, and now the druid is in really hard pain since he doesn't really have any more cooldowns. He wasted everything, fell barrage into fell rush, and he just dies. It was a weird RMD game. Like I'm pretty sure the demon hunter shouldn't be able to move, but he did, and we had super high pressure from the start to the finish. And I think this was a really nice comp actually. I'm not so sure, but Windwalkers, man, they're really overpowered. The amount of CCM burst they have, yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this Resto Druid games. Not the best, but yeah, hopefully I'll do more in the near future. Bye bye.